Takes a
Either
second.
I don't know how to do hello. We've
Make
been
sure.
talking for the past, like, 20 minutes, and I didn't even know that I wasn't talking to anybody else.
Hey, I thought we were just chilling.
No, it's okay. I was, like, trying to talk about books because I thought I was talking to people, but it's fine. Oh, no, you're talking to me
Right.
about books. That's what we're
Just wanted
here for.
to
What?
just wanted to check, make sure we're live, but we are doing some reading sprints today. I use these for reading, but I also use them just to get chores done that I hate doing. I feel like
Yeah.
having that timer and that countdown helps so much to
Really? I
yeah.
always like, I did it last week, and I always thought that I was just gonna be checking the timer constantly because I don't like being under pressure when I'm reading, I just wanna,
Oh, yeah.
like that's, like, my happy time, but, like, when I did it, I was like, I didn't even really notice the timer, so I was like and I actually got 50 pages of reading done in 45 minutes, so I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay." It was, like, kinda helpful.
Yeah. So are you okay with having a timer?
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna set
I
one
just wanna make
anyway.
sure. I didn't wanna, like, stress you out, like, while you're trying to read,
No,
just,
we
like,
can't
keep
have a
staring.
timer when we're doing reading sprints. That's the whole point. So, I don't know how you put, like, cause like, some people have, like, a separate like, they share their screen and they put, like, a background up, or,
Mhm.
like, they have, like, a little crawl on the bottom just saying, like, "Reading sprints, join in if you want," or something like that, but it's, like, basically like a read along, so, like, whoever wants to read with us, or if you just wanna stare at us reading, that's fine too. Oh, that's
Here we go.
perfect.
And there's a timer too, so that will help.
Okay, so we're
And
gonna do 2 we should be able
okay.
to do 2 half-hour ones.
Alright.
Um, and I'll just say the book that I'm reading.
I was gonna say, what are you reading?
I'm reading, it's totally opposite from what Allie's reading, but I'm reading The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie by Rachel Linden. It's
Okay.
like a magical realism, and basically it's about this woman who is, like, unhappy with her position in life, like, she works for a restaurant, and she has, like, her mother's lemon drop pie family recipe that's been, like, passed down to them, and
Mhm.
something tragic happens to her mother where she has to tell her, like, the secret recipe, and she tells her daughter that basically you have to hold the family together after she, like, passes away. It's not really giving anything away, it's, like, basically in the synopsis,
Yeah.
and, like, her aunt gives her, like, 3 lemon drops to, like, basically see, like, how each scenario, works out if she didn't, like, choose this path. It's like
Okay.
if she chooses a different path. So it's been really
Yeah.
good so far.
Kind of like a cozy
Yeah,
read.
it's been, like, really cozy, so
Mine too.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
when you curl up
working
in bed to read every night, right?
yeah, I'm working my way through The Exorcist for the first time, and it's been pretty jarring, like,
Really?
some of the stuff I've read.
How is it compared to the movie?
Um, I feel like the main parts are definitely there, like the same as the movie, but there
Yeah.
is, like, some extra dialogue here and there that I'm like, "Whoa,
Like,
this was
really
not the
heavy?
movie."
Like, scary or, like
Um,
I mean, it's
I
not
think
scary to you, but
well, I feel like it could be scary to some, but just very, like, almost, like, vulgar. I feel like
Yeah,
this is the best way to put it,
really?
where it's like some of that's in the movie, but it doesn't go as detailed as, like, in the book that I'm like, "Whoa."
Yeah. Is it, like, the devil talking or, like
Yeah, some of it is, but also some of it is, like, research that they've done on, like, past possessions and stuff, and what some of those people were doing and stuff, and I'm like, "Okay."
some sexually explicit content?
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
really
yeah.
should have parental advisory on the cover.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But
Well, we do end up reading some of the same books. We do love
yeah,
thrillers. I'm just not a horror reader, but Allie is
yeah.
a very avid horror reader.
I'm very hit or miss, I feel like, on everything else. Like, I have a few thriller authors that I enjoy, and I will usually pick up their books, but I even this year with thrillers have just been very hit or miss, like, whenever I try a new author.
I've like I do love Frida McFadden and I do love binging her books. Like they're just so
Yeah.
easily bingeable. That's why I like reading her because like they don't take any brain power and they're just so easy to
Mhm.
read. But like the last hit that I found that was a 5 star was her Never Lie book, but that was like back in June. And since then I've been like in kind of a thriller rut. But like honestly, I think the only series that has been consistently really good is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
Yeah, I've read the first one, and I've heard that the series continues to be really good, so I need to get back into that.
It is. I actually watched the show too, and it was really good. Really
Yeah.
good. Like, I was actually really surprised because, like, some people were upset about them being British, but you actually, because it's set in the United States, but they were like, why are they in Britain? And then you find out that Holly Black is British. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's so cute. But I really like her writing, so I think that her writing just gets better and better.
This fly. The one
He
lone fly.
wants to read The Exorcist too. Okay.
Yeah. I have my fly swatter, so I'm gonna get him
What are
this
you
spring.
reading, Allie? Want to be possessed.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay,
Alright.
whenever you're ready.
Yeah, if you're ready, we
Yeah,
can go ahead.
let's do some reading. I'm
Let me
on
see.
page 145. It's like 300 and over 320 pages.
Yeah, I'm around 242.
How long is it?
It is hold on, there's author's note. It is 385.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, I
not
should
bad.
be able to get this done tomorrow. All
All
right.
right. And if I turn my camera off, yeah. If I turn my camera off, it's I'm either attacking this fly or I have like laundry and stuff like that going. So
Okay.
back and
Yeah,
forth.
that's
'Cause I
fine.
have the audiobook too, so I'm kind of tandem reading.
Yeah, I don't because my Spotify listening hours don't come back for another like 3 days. And I'm like, of course, it's included in premium. So
Oh,
I
you
hate
need to
that so
look into
much.
like library apps and stuff too.
I do. I don't know why I don't use Libby, but like it's just Spotify's so annoying. Like, why do you only get 15 hours a month? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
that's not even enough time to finish one book.
yeah, that is stupid.
It's dumb. All right, we're ready.
All right. I will see you in
Yeah,
30 minutes.
happy reading.
Can never show it properly. Yes, I see. You sent a message. Thank you. Look, I'm responding to you live. Whoa.
That's my boyfriend if you removed the comment, Allie. It's not a hater. One second.
Did it scare you?
No. I just wanted to finish the page.
Oops.
No, it didn't scare me. That was actually really cute. I'm like, oh, we're done. So how
How
far
did it
did you
go for you?
get?
I don't really have too much to update on. They're still just going through it. I read about close to 30 pages.
Yeah, me too. Like pretty much almost. I like literally was on the 29th page. So I was like, damn it, I can't get 30 pages. But it's fine. I had to pay really quick. So I was like, great. But it's fine. Yeah, the plot's progressing quite a bit more. It's like going between like flashbacks and like present day. So, and what's so funny is that the flashbacks are November. So it's like it's perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
love when I'm reading a book that's like set in the same time of the year and stuff, or just
Yeah.
lines up that way.
I literally didn't even know that it took place like towards like the winter time. I thought it was like because like one of the other flashbacks was like August, and then like both of the other ones have been November now. And I just think it's so funny that I'm like, and also like my boyfriend wanted me to read this, and he's the one that commented.
Oh, okay.
That. I was like, she probably deleted because she probably thought it was a troll.
Yeah. My bad.
It's okay. You didn't know. And I think I was on mute, right? I'm like, that's my boyfriend. It's okay. He says that to me he calls me a bozo all the time. So.
You just never know anymore. Anybody just comments anything. So
it's like, read a book, you idiot. Educate yourself. Why don't you? Out of all days today, you should be reading a book.
Yeah.
Women reading books is it's not good, Allie. We can't educate ourselves.
Yeah.
We're the weaker sex.
Sessions.
So what do you want, 270 then? Or
yeah, 273.
Yeah. I'm on 174. That's so funny. Like 100 pages less, but like around the same.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. The writing style isn't too bad with it being a little bit older, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, like I haven't read any classics yet or like things that, came out like quite a while back, but I like want to see like how certain things hold up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do you think it does or
Yeah, for the most part. This one doesn't feel like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a really, what's the best word for that?
dated?
Yeah, but it does in a way just because of like, the time period, but like at the
Mhm.
same time the writing doesn't feel that way.
Yeah. Like that's the thing. Like I feel like if the writing style isn't like the best, like then some people like don't really enjoy it, like the
Yeah.
classics, or they feel like they have to like read it when they're old. Because I literally just watched a reading wrap up yesterday of a YouTuber that I really like, and she had read two classics, and she's like 23, and she read The Scarlet Letter and I think The Great Gatsby, and she's like, I didn't really enjoy either one of them because the writing style just like wasn't
Yeah.
modern enough, which is like
Mhm.
not a big deal. If like you don't enjoy it, then you don't enjoy it.
Yeah. Sometimes with some of them I have to be in the right headspace to like really be able to focus in on them because some of the wording or how they say certain things is completely different.
Yeah.
It's very posh.
It's It's very posh. I'm not British. What do you fucking mean? But yeah, it's like sometimes in a different language and it's a different time. So it's like, or different style of talking. So
Yeah.
like Shakespeare when we used to read in high school, it's like no one understood that.
Well, what did they just say?
Yeah. Like, wherefore art thou bathroom? Like, what? What does sheath mean? Like, I had no idea. And then, like, when we actually analyzed it, I'm like, okay, Shakespeare was like kind of brilliant. So I understand why they want us to read his books. Well, his plays pretty much, but
Yeah.
he still like is like the goat pretty much. Like everybody literally has been influenced by Shakespeare in some way when they write.
Yeah.
So they like say
How
like he's the only one that like perfected like the multi-genre and like one of his plays. And like everybody uses it to just write like books today. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. That's how I always feel about like Edgar Allan Poe and like reading
Mhm.
his stories and stuff and how much he shaped, I feel like, the horror genre. And not only that, but like even thriller and mysteries and like
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah,
whodunit
same.
type of, you know.
Yeah. I do want to read some Edgar Allan Poe at some point. I mean, I read some of his poems in high school and I loved them. They did freak me out a little bit, but they were
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. He's got some scary ones.
But like I read like the most famous ones like The Raven and The Telltale Heart and stuff like that. And I still
Yeah.
like it's crazy how much The Telltale Heart will stay with you like forever.
Hmm.
That was such a good book. I mean poem. A collection of poems.
Yeah.
But yeah, the plot is plotting, so I'm having a good time. And we're probably gonna do one more.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for like asking to do this because I have wanted to start these, but I'm so intimidated because with my time frame, I have to sprint in the mornings, and I just feel like there's not a lot of people
Yeah.
around, and that's what makes
Yeah.
it really hard. But it's like awkward to do it yourself because like you get done with the sprint and you're like,
What do I do now?
this is what I did, and
Do
then
I
it's
talk
just like
about the
there's
book or
yeah,
does somebody want me to spoil it for them? Like
like there's nobody in chat, so
yeah, like I felt a little weird doing it last week, but then it's like people just like pop in and like the video and then they leave. So it's like it's not a big deal if people honestly, I'd rather people not talk so I can read and then like discuss it after. Or like if somebody's like I said, it's just to like have people read along with you. They don't have to
yeah,
talk.
yeah,
So and I was like, you know, me and Allie love books and we've been trying to think about what we want to do the next time we went live. And I was like, I feel like this is so easy that like
yeah,
you don't have to like prepare like getting ready and all that shit. I'm like, we can just sit and read together.
yeah,
Because I know I wanted to do some kind of book related live with you. I
yeah,
know that we do wrap ups and like I do oh my god, I have so like I love TBR videos now. I do it all the time. But,
yeah.
like, my TBR is just, like, ridiculous right now. I've just bought way too many books this year.
That's why I feel like I can't do TBR videos anymore because I get so overwhelmed because I feel like it just keeps stacking up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't have this, like, I can't see it visually. I just got to keep reading.
I know, like, I kinda like seeing it, but also, like, if a new release comes out, it's gonna be pushed to the forefront, and then I'm like, "Great, now I have to push back all the other books that I wanna read." But it's like, I wanna read them when they come out because like, I wanna read it with everybody else, but also, like, I don't wanna push it off too long because then it's like I won't get to it.
Yeah.
So, that's, like, the dilemma. It's like when I first started getting into reading this past year, I was like, these are all the books that I'm gonna read in 2024," and now I don't even remember what's on that list anymore. Now it's
Yeah.
like
I looked at mine the other day and I was like, whew, I've got a lot of reading to get done.
yep.
Oh, man.
Like, before we start, like, what are your, like, reading goals for the rest of the next 2 months, pretty much? Because we only have 2 months
Ooh,
left. Not even.
man, that's a hard one. Um,
Like, what are your priority books?
well, I've been
Probably
working through
easier.
Edgar Allan Poe, so I was hoping to complete those this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think. I'm mainly at this point, I feel like just mood reading, kind of what I'm feeling like reading, or like themes, that type of
Mm-hmm.
ordeal. I am gonna stop this timer. I think it's
Yeah,
about to.
it just restarted again.
But I don't know. I don't really want to have like a stressful end of the year. I definitely just want to be able to, relax and read what I want to during the holidays,
Yeah,
but
me
it'll
too.
be poor.
Yeah, of course. What else? I mean, I do have some priority books before the end of the year, but I just also, like you said, in December, I don't want to feel pressured to get to books. If I don't, I'm thinking about mostly mood reading too, or like really just getting to, because there's mostly like, it's just been series that I've just been pushing off, and the like
Yeah,
series are just, they're such a big commitment, and
yeah,
sometimes I'm like, I had already in January, I committed to the entirety of Throne of Glass, and that's all I read in January, and then I read ACOTAR in February, and then it's like, do I really wanna read another long-ass series or just read, like, a duology or trilogy, which is what I've been prioritizing more? Because 'Cause I'm like, they're not as long, they, like, wrap up, you don't have to, like, question whether or not it's, if there's another book coming out like 10 years from now. So
yeah,
I just finished Caraval last month, and she just came out with like a little holiday book, but it's like that's different than like waiting like, for frickin' George R.R. Martin to finish fucking Game of Thrones. So like I'd rather not commit to that because, like, literally, people are still upset that it's not complete. So it's like, I'm not gonna do that to myself.
yeah,
But I really want to read the Six of Crows duology. I keep on pushing that off.
yeah. I would like to get to that one at some point.
And I've heard it's even better than Shadow and Bone. And I also still really want to read my first Stephen King book. I keep on
Oh my
pushing it off.
goodness. Yeah, you
I
gotta do
have
that.
what?
I said you've gotta do that.
I know. I have Billy Summers and I'm still pushing it off. And everybody's like it's one of the best thrillers you'll read. So I'm like I just don't know why. He just intimidates me. I don't know
Yeah,
why. And then like him and Brandon Sanderson are like the two authors that intimidate me the most.
yeah. Brandon Sanderson, that intimidates me too. My friend was asking if I had read his or if I was wanting to start one of his series, and I'm just like, his series go on forever, and each
Forever.
book is like,
They're they're like very time consuming, but I'm also thinking about like I just bought one of his standalone books because I'm like, just start with that. It's easy. It ends like, and I don't have to worry about another book. But I do really want to read the Mistborn series at some point. It's just like committing to it when I want to read Shatter Me. I want to read her other trilogy. I want to read Red Queen. I want to read what's the other one? Assassin's Apprentice, the Rage of Dragons. There's so many dragon books that I want to read, and it's just ridiculous. But at the same time, when I actually look at it, it's not like that many series. It's just like committing to it.
yeah,
So, and then there's like standalone books and like things I'm in the mood for rather than like committing to something.
yeah. I would like to get back into my Dark Tower read from Stephen King, but I'm
Right.
doing like the expanded one. So it's not just the Dark Tower series, it's like a bunch of his other books too.
Mm-hmm.
And you like take detours throughout the series because there's like mentions of, it's kind of like a multiverse type of
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And it's the expanded series is 28 books. So I've been working on
That's a
that.
lot.
And
That's a lot.
yeah, it's definitely not going to be completed this year.
No.
maybe next
No, you're
year.
gonna complete it all in December.
Well, I've already been working on it, but I'm
Yeah.
definitely not close to finishing.
Like I'm that type of person. Like I have to complete a series or I just won't read it. Like
Yeah.
I get too much anxiety unless it's like a book that just came out this year and it's like the first book and we're
Yeah.
waiting for the second book. That's like the only time I'll do that. But like or if it's like a romance series cuz like that doesn't really matter if I like don't continue it, but like fantasy series I have to read it like all the way through or I get like so upset that I don't know how it ends.
Yeah.
Or if I push it off too long and you just forget what happens. So, and like every time I watch these, but I love watching the vlogs where it's like continuing series I'm in the middle of, but I'm
Yeah.
like, I couldn't be that person.
I need to do one of those
Yeah, that'd be
so I
awesome.
can get through some of the series that I've started.
Yeah. Cause like there was like one series, actually two series that I DNF'd, actually three. I didn't like the Wild Love series by Elsie Silver, so I just DNF'd that. And I just want to read her Chestnut Springs series next year. I think I would like those more. Like everybody talks about her, so I'm like I kind of like want to try it out.
Yeah.
And I DNF'd the Entangled with Fae series because I couldn't get into that. And then the other one was Encyclopedia of Fairies. That book is just oh my
I
God, it was
wanted to try that one, but I just don't know if it's gonna be for me or not.
I couldn't I mean, I got through the first book, but it was only because I listened to it as well, and I'm like I had the second book, and I'm like, I don't think I'm even ever gonna get to it, so I just got rid of it. I'm like, I can't. It was just so boring.
Yeah. Hmm. I think one of them I think was on my 24 and 24.
Really.
Oh yeah,
They're
so I've
beautiful
thought about picking
books.
them up
It's
soon,
just
but I'm just ugh, they're another one that's kind of intimidating just because I it's not really my genre, so I have to kind of get outside my comfort zone a little bit.
yeah, I wanted to try cozy fantasy, and I just couldn't get down with that one, but then I read The Spell Shop.
Mhm.
That was like it's actually a debut novel and I loved that book. So it's like it just like depends on like what your style is like cuz cozy fantasy is very like hit and miss.
Yeah.
Some people love it or some people hate it.
Yeah. Yeah,
But you
I've
know, fantasy, thriller and horror are very polarizing genres.
yeah. Yeah, they are, and I like when I do read some fantasy that dabbles in the horror as well, so it kind of leans more horror than fantasy, and I love those.
That's what
So it
I
just
want to read.
have
Yeah.
enough horror to it for me
Like
to, like, really enjoy.
Like, I was thinking about if I do horror, it has to have, like, a fantasy element, because then I could
Yeah,
probably read it. But, like, if
yeah,
it was just straight up horror, I can't do it.
yeah. Yeah, you might like some of, T. King Fisher's. I feel like some of hers are now, they're horror and some of them are creepy, but for the most part, there's usually, like, some type of fantasy element to them. Or
Right.
Shauna McGuire. I feel like that would be probably a good one because, the Wayward Kids series
I heard
is
yeah.
very yeah, it's very fantasy, but there is, like, horror elements, but it's not, like, super scary.
Isn't that a TV series too? Or is it
I don't think
I
so.
don't know why I thought
No.
I've heard of that or not. I mean, I've definitely heard of it. I just thought it was like a there was an interpretation too. Um, but yeah, it's just like an endless amount, and I'm just like but then when I look at them, I'm like, I can't wait to get to them. But then I'm like, why do I have this many books? But like, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. There's just a lot of series I've been pushing off, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? So it is what that's the struggles of being a reader. And they're like, why are you reading all the time? I'm like, because I want to finish my TBR.
Yeah, I'm constantly just like, there's just not enough time in the day to read.
No, that's why like audiobooks are so useful. I love them.
Mhm. Yeah, me too.
I hate people that are like, it's not really reading. I'm like, shut up. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care. Do you want to like be doing this while you're doing dishes? Like, obviously, Allie,
I
you're not
get
really
so much
reading.
more done having an audiobook.
Yeah. And also, like, sometimes I don't want to put it down if I have to do something. I'm like, then why
Yeah.
not just listen to it?
Mhm.
So, like, if I'm obsessed with a book, I will read it in every way possible.
Yeah.
Like, and also, I feel like with audiobooks, they breathe just like it's like listening to a radio movie. Like
Yeah.
when the people just had radio, and also like audiobooks are like way older than I thought. So like
Yeah.
people act like it's like a new thing. I'm like, no, they've been around for like 100
Yeah.
years actually. So
Mhm. Some of the production styles and stuff with older ones are so funny to me.
I'm
There's some
sure they are.
ones with like the music playing in the background and different things like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this
I
sounds
love
so
that.
old.
That's so funny. There was
But now
actually
some of the new ones, horror ones that I've listened to this year have blown me away, like having a
really,
full cast or like the sound effects or like it's full on acting. It's so cool.
that's awesome.
Hmm.
Because I think they're trying to bring back like because again, it's like a radio show.
Yeah.
So, the one that I just listened to that I loved, I mean, I like half like read it and half listened to it was Lovely War. Um, it's like a YA. Oh my God, it was such an amazing book. It's a YA historical fiction fantasy romance. And but like the audiobook has like music in it and like it's a very big element to the story is that all the characters play some kind of musical instrument and every time they play it, it plays in the audiobook.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm like, that is so cool, like brings back like that old fashioned type of style. So
Hmm.
it was so good. I
Yeah.
loved that book so much. There's so many standouts and so many like just good books that it's just like you want to like obsess with someone and then it's like, but no one else read it but me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really hard. Even my like circle of like friends that I hang out with, we try to read the same book every once in a while, but it's so hard because like we're all such different readers and
Yeah.
we normally like a lot of the same things like when we do pick up like the same book, but they're a lot more heavy on like the fantasy where I'm just not. And it's just, oh, some books I just cannot
Yeah.
get to.
Like I would love to buddy read with someone, like, but I've also like been wanting to like be part of a book club or something, but at the same time I'm like
Hmm.
I'm again like I have to read what is either on my TBR or I'll just mood read something that I really want to get to. That it's
Yeah.
like if I have a book club read, it's just like too much pressure. I feel like a buddy read would be a little bit less.
Yeah.
Like, because basically like me and my other friend are like the only two that are like really obsessed with books and then like the rest of my friends not really. Like my boyfriend actually really loves to read, but like he was much more into audiobooks, but now he hasn't really read that much in a while, but he still read a lot of books. But
Yeah.
like but he actually wants to like get into like Fourth Wing and see like what it's all about. I'm like, it's it doesn't matter who as long as you're reading.
Yeah.
If you want to read it, that's fine. But I do think Fourth Wing is worth the hype, but Powerless is like kind of going downhill. So the
Yeah.
first book was great, and then the other two is just like this is not romantasy. It's like literally a romance, but
Mm.
it's like YA romance with no plot.
Oh no.
Like Once Upon a Broken Heart is like there's a really strong plot, like very fairy tale-esque. That's why I love Stephanie Garber's writing. It's not for everybody, but like with this, Powerless has become so popular that it's like I don't really get it at this
Yeah.
point. I do love her writing, but I'm like, what did you do with the second book? I don't know. Just did not. Everybody's like, oh my God, 5 stars. And like, but some people didn't like it as much as the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like at the time when I was reading a lot of fantasy books, and I would give every fantasy book 5 stars because I just loved all of them. But like now, I feel like I need to go back to it and be like, is it 5 stars?
Yeah, I feel that with a lot of books. I will like simmer on books and be like, oh my gosh, I should have not given it that.
Hmm.
And sometimes I'll just go back on Goodreads and change it.
Like I think you read The Unhoneymooners,
Hmm.
and
I've
you
tried
didn't
to read
like
it.
it, right? But
Yeah.
I loved it.
Oh no.
But now I'm like, that was like Christina Loren was my first romance author. Um,
Mhm.
so I read Love and Other Words before that, and I really loved that book. But then The Honeymooners I just thought was such a good time, but I'm like, maybe I should go back and reread it now.
Yeah.
But
I'm
also it's like,
very
I don't know.
I'm usually miss with romance. Like it's just really hard for me to get into them. And I feel like it comes down to a lot of like contemporary writing, but I have my guilty pleasures too that like I really like, but they're never books that or authors that like I recommend to anybody else because I'm like,
That's
I'm not saying it's
fine. That's
amazing,
what you like.
but and I think it's more so I read so much like serious books or, you know, really good writing books that sometimes I'm okay to just pick up like a cheesy romance and,
Yeah.
but
You
I
need
have to
like
be
a palate
for it.
cleanser sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah, the Christina Lauren, that just didn't really do it for me.
I
Just couldn't get into it.
I've read like 4 of her books at this point. Well, their books.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed mostly all of them. So, but they have a lot of books. They have like 20 books,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I don't think I'm ever gonna make it through that many. But um, if you haven't read Abby Jimenez, I really enjoy her books a lot.
Yeah, I've read, I think Part of Your World, I think is what
It's
it's called.
like my
I've read
favorite
that.
book. It's like my
Yeah.
favorite romance book. I love that book.
Yeah, I thought that one was cute.
But I think that she's like a writer where like she just gets better, but also she talks about a lot of like heavy issues.
Yeah.
So, but I think that she balances it so well, and she doesn't like drag on the story without the romance. And that's
Yeah.
like the problem with a lot of contemporary romance now is that I'm like, where's the romance? I'm like, I understand a slow burn, but it's
Yeah.
like you have to have chemistry between the two characters or it's not gonna
Yeah.
work.
But then
So,
sometimes I'm like, whoa.
or I'm like, let's go
I
right into
signed
the
up for
spice, you know?
like a cute little romance, not
Like,
smut.
seriously, it's like straight up smut. And I'm like, okay, where's the romance? Like,
Yeah.
what happened? Like, there's like cheesy spicy, but also like you've already established like the romance between the two characters that like I can go with that, but like if you're not going to establish the connection between the two of them, unless it's like a silly, fun, fluffy time, then I'm like, I don't have a problem. Like the X Hex was kind of like that, but it was just like
Yeah.
a fun time. But like if you're going to like say there's like a serious subplot, but like the romance is not romancing, then I'm like, I don't care. Like
Hmm.
the Better Than the Movie sequel, I hated it. Like hated it because I understand she was going for a more serious story because they were in college now, but it's like there was no romance until like 300 pages in. I'm like, what are you doing, Lynn Painter? Like,
Yeah.
I usually love your books, and I'm like, I never again. I returned it right after I finished it, but also I was able to read it like a week before because my bookstore sometimes gets them in early.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. We could talk about books for forever.
I know.
It's like, are we gonna do another one?
Yeah.
No, it's
Sign
fine.
up for reading and just talk books.
Yeah, seriously, I could talk forever. Um,
Man.
but I've read, oh yeah, about Frida McFadden. I've read like 8 of her books at this point because
Mhm.
again, like they're just so fast, and I find that she's like the one author. If I'm like feeling like I don't want to read, she just pulls me right back into reading again.
Yeah.
So, like her books are stupid, but like some of them are really good.
Yeah, my friend is obsessed. Like that is her author. And I've only read The Housemaid. And I didn't hate it, but it also wasn't really like a favorite.
See, The Housemaid is my favorite of the trilogy. I
Mhm.
loved that one. That was also my first Frida book, but like the second one was good. The third one was just like everybody's like, can this like stop? Like, can you stop beating a dead horse? But also like what I also love about Frida McFadden is that most of her books take place in Long Island, and that's where I live. So I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, that's
it's
cool.
crazy to me that that book is so popular. And also, The 7 Year Slip takes place in some of Long Island too. So I'm like,
Cool.
Ashley Poston also writes a lot about New York, and I'm like, I love it.
Yeah,
But
I've read that one.
hmm.
I said, yeah, I've read that one, The 7 Year Slip. I just
Oh
forgot
yeah.
what it was based in, but I have read that one.
I liked her first book more than The 7 Year Slip. The Dead
Yeah.
Romantics was one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
But
I
like
have that one on the TBR. If I ever get back into wanting to read romance, I will definitely pick it up.
it's
But
like if you love 6 Feet Under, you might love that book.
okay.
Because it's very like the dad in the book reminds me a lot of the dad in 6 Feet Under. So that's why I loved it so much. But like getting back to Freedom McFadden, what you were saying earlier about Stephen King and like multiverses. I've noticed like a lot of people don't point this out about Frida's books, but she does a lot of throwbacks to like her other books. If you the more books you've read, the more
Oh yeah.
throwbacks you understand. And
Mhm.
also like her twists are also kind of similar. But they're which was funny because like The Boyfriend was like her newest release. And the twist was so similar to the one that was in One by One that I read like a couple months back. And I was like, I'm so glad I read that book first. But also, like, she puts like little lines in for her readers that if like you've read more of her books, the more you'll understand. And I love that about her books.
Yeah.
That's why, like, because like she can make fun of herself too. And that's why I like her books a lot.
Yeah.
Is it still there?
This is a lie. I like sat here and like guarded the place and he just keeps getting away.
It's so weird.
It is so annoying.
I'm like, Allie, what are you looking at?
Keep getting distracted.
So, oh my God, my boyfriend's such a dumbass. Okay. So he's like, I hope it's not Hillary 2.0. I'm like, shut up.
Oh man.
I'm nervous, but yeah.
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
it just depends on every other state doing their thing. I don't have to worry about New York, so
Yeah. Unfortunately, my state sucks.
yeah.
Oh,
I guess we'll find out, but no one's gonna find out today. Everybody's like, oh my God. I'm like, we're not gonna find out today. So
yeah.
but like last election we found out pretty fast, so
Yeah. I kind of remember that too.
are you
Well,
ready for another one?
yeah, I'm good to go.
Okay. Or you want to just talk more?
Yeah, I could probably do one more sprint
Okay.
and then I need to get some stuff done before tonight because we have to go vote and then I'm having friends over, so it's just gonna be a busy night.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm not even sure what I'm doing later. Like, my mom actually said that her coworker's having a watch party later, so I might go to that.
Oh
Or
yeah.
like, I was supposed to see my friend later, but I don't. He still hasn't told me. So I'm probably just gonna end up running errands, and I want to film my reading wrap up before this weekend. So
Yeah.
we'll find out. I'll tell you every event of my day, Allie, once I
Yes.
go. You'd be like, did you get everything done?
Yeah. Send me a checklist.
No, I never do. Who does?
All right.
Except for reading. We finish books here, all right?
Yeah.
We don't finish chores. All right, we're good to go.
All right, I will see you in 30 minutes. But
Okay. Huh.
go.
That was good. I read 31 pages, so now I'm read the 60 pages I wanted to. So now
I
I'm
am,
on page 207.
yeah, I'm at 308.
Awesome. We made our goals.
Oh man.
So how's it going?
I'm tired. It's made me sleepy today.
I was actually asking how's the book going.
Oh, it's going.
Because I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm still liking it. I don't really know if it's gonna be a 5 star for me. I just feel like there's so many parts that are just, I don't know. I'm like, it's too wordy. I feel like this could have been cut
Okay.
down. You
Yeah.
know, there's just, I don't know, it's a lot.
Probably today probably would have been edited down a lot.
Yeah.
So that's but it's like 380, right? So do you feel like things should be wrapping up at this point already?
Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, yeah, and then there's even an epilogue. So I feel like this portion right here is just gonna be like the exorcism hasn't even happened yet. So it's just
Really?
how many pages is that gonna be? Is it just gonna be super rushed? I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's a for 300 pages in, I'm surprised. I thought it had happened already.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely been like scenes with Reagan, like, doing questionable things and saying questionable things, but the majority of the book is just like the priest, and like the first part of it was more so the detective, like, or detective like looking into it and calling in for help and trying to figure out, what's going on with her. But this second half of the book has just been this priest and like him trying to figure out what's going on with her. He's still like back and forth, like, is it possession or is
Right.
it, kind of like a mental sickness or something like
Yeah.
that, and kind of going back and forth. But I don't know. I feel like now it's kind of dragging and I'm like, I just need it
You
to
just want it
like
to be over.
I just wanted to get to like some more like good parts where it's like intense and in the story,
But
because I
it's
feel
still
like
been like enjoyable, like
yeah, for the
where
most
it's
part,
not
there
like
is really cool, interesting bits that are kind of like, I don't know if it's like real history or whatever, but like research on possessions and stuff like that I found really
hmm
cool. But
Yeah. But at this point, do you think it's overhyped or do you think it's worth it?
I mean, I don't really feel like it's overhyped. I can see like why they made like a movie on it because it is jarring and
I'm
you
saying
know,
like, is it worth like the hype though?
I feel like worth to read if you've already watched. I feel like it's kind of just up in the air. I feel like if you
Yeah.
like horror and you like these type of stories, then you'd probably enjoy it. But
Well, I'm not gonna read it. I'm just curious.
yeah. Yeah. I'm happy to say that, I've checked it off my list or that I've read it. So,
Okay. So it's worth it for you to read it. That's the
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't it depends on how they do the exorcism and like the end of this. I don't think it's going to be a 5 star, but I feel like it would probably be a 4 still. It's been still enjoyable enough.
Yeah, that's good. Still a good
Yeah.
book.
Mhm.
I think this one might not be quite 5 star either, but I am enjoying it a lot. Like she's on her it's like kind of like similar to Aladdin and his three wishes. She has like three lemon drops. So she's on her third scenario already, and I'm like surprised that we're up to this point already, but at the same time it's like it's not
Mhm.
dragging at all. So I like that.
But
But then also when this scenario is over, it's like there's still
is
like
the
100
end,
huh?
yeah. I'm like, is the end gonna drag?
There's like 130 pages left. So I'm like, but that's like a typical length for this type of book. It's only 327 pages, so it's not that long. But
Yeah.
I just wonder like it has like a subplot of romance, but also like it reminds me a lot of this other book that I just read earlier this year that was called The Good Part. with it's by Sophie Cousins, and actually her new book is coming out soon, so I don't know if I'm gonna pick that up or not. But like it was like this is fiction, like it wasn't in the romance section. It's just like I actually feel like the romance in this is stronger than that book, and that book was a romance book. Like but I felt that that book was more women's fiction. So
Yeah.
like, that, like, annoys me sometimes when they, like, mislabel a genre, like, of course, like, you heard about It Ends With Us, like
Mhm.
and that's, like, people's main gripe with that book, but it is a good book,
Yeah.
but, like, it's considered romance when it's not.
Mhm.
So, it's like, I
I
would
feel
say
like I would still classify that as romance though, because not, like, spoilery or anything, but I feel like it is still, telling the story of like, it is
yeah,
telling a love
it
story.
is.
It's
It is.
just not the type of love story you really wanna read or, that you expect, but then I feel like there's more love stories within that, again, without, like, giving anything away, you
Yeah.
know?
Like, no, I get what you're saying. Of course, it has a romance plot, but
Mhm.
it's more like if you're people think it's a light, fluffy romance going into it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's like a drama, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's where the mislabeling comes from. But also, like, I actually finally saw the movie, and I actually think they did a really, really good job. But that was only because of I always forget his name, but he's the one that played, the main love interest, and he was also the director. So
Yeah. Um, oh man, what is his name? Now I'm not gonna be able to think of it.
he's so hot. I love him.
I liked him in, Jane the
I
Virgin.
love I, like, literally was rooting for him the entire time in Jane the Virgin. Like, I love Mike, but I was such a hardcore fan of him, and
I was too.
I think he's such a good actor too. I love him. But he was really good in It Ends With Us, and
I still haven't watched it just because of the whole backlash of everything. I'm a
yeah.
little bitter towards Blake Lively and Colleen Hoover.
Well, I just watched it for free. I didn't see it in
Justin
theaters.
Bal is it Baldoni? Justin Baldoni?
Yes, that's his
Yeah.
name.
But I feel like I should watch it in support for him because, yeah, he did direct it. It is his movie, and I feel bad for him after all of
Yeah,
the, backlash and stuff the movie got just because people were so, like, insensitive with the subject matter.
right. But also, like, it shouldn't be solely his job to make it good. Like, also, Colleen Hoover is a very controversial author. So, like,
No.
no, oh my God, I love Colleen Hoover.
Oh, man.
I only read those 2 books, and I do think they are worth reading. But, like, and I actually have Verity, and I do wanna read that at some point, but I've heard that those are her best books, and, like, all of her other books aren't that good, so
Yeah, I read Without Merit, and I didn't really care for it. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was very YA, so it just didn't I didn't really enjoy it much. I think there's one, Reminders of Him.
yeah.
That one was just very questionable, like, a lot of the stuff in that, I was just like, "Ooh." It's kind of like It Ends With Us to an extent of the subject matter,
Mhm.
very heavy, but, like, I don't know, like, your heart just aches for, like, so many different characters for so many different things, even the ones that have done, like, shitty things, you know?
Yeah. Well, like, most of her books are, like, traumatic romances pretty much, but I feel like It Ends With Us, she made it so it could be I mean, it's, like, the biggest book of the past, like, couple years, and, like, probably the one that's, like, the most popular since that book is Fourth Wing, so, like, um but I do think that this book, did a really good job of portraying the domestic violence, but also, like, it did have a beautiful love story because he actually did really love her, he just, like,
Mhm.
couldn't control himself, but, like, in her other books, though, I've heard, like, in I think it's November 9th, like, it's, like, really extreme, like, with the I think, like, the guy, like, burns her at some point, and I'm just like, why would I wanna read that?" So I'm
Oh, man.
like, I do want to get into dark romance though, but like I don't know if certain ones are for me. So like, cause there's like a line between like I don't mind if something like stalkerish or like, they're funny about like there's some books that I've had recommended to me. They're like more like parody. And I'm just like, I would probably be more into that. But like dark romance doesn't have to be like torture, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So that's why I'm like hesitant about it. But also like I do want to get into like some darker books. So see what's for me. But like I just heard about because like I don't know if you watch Larry Reed's.
I don't think so.
She's like she's so hilarious. I love her videos. And she just read like dark romance for a month and she just read this one called Lights Out and she said if you're not really into dark romance, I think you would still enjoy this because it's more like funny.
Yeah.
So, but also she said it was similar to like Butcher and Blackbird, which is like I don't know if you read that, but I don't know
I
if I'm gonna
haven't
read it.
I haven't yet, but, one of my friends has read it, and she said that I should check it out. I feel like if I do romance again, I might try that one, but yeah, that's not really, like, a genre that, like, I've really explored too much on.
Yeah. Like I've heard very mixed reviews about the second book.
Those are usually, like, books I like to just go watch people spoiler
Mhm.
vlogs.
Like, do I really need to read it?
I don't wanna read it, so I'm just gonna let you spoil it for me.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna do that, but because I'm not gonna read those, they're not for me, but, um, it's just, like, hard sometimes when it's, like and then, like, Zodiac Academy, it's like, why is it so fucking long? Like, why? How much more source material do you need to talk about? Like, it's just so I understand, like, if books are popular, like, their publisher just wants them to make or, like, if you do have more material to talk about, then yeah, why not? But, like,
Yeah.
at a certain point, like, you need to either I mean, like, they're not gonna stop, though, if there's no another one coming out, but, like, at some point, like, some people are like, "Was it really worth, you know, my time?" And that's, like, my hesitancy about some
Yeah.
series, so
Yeah, that's always the worst, like, when you finish a book and you're just like, "I just wasted my time."
Mhm. But also, like, with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I don't know if they're making a second, like, TV series for the second book. They haven't said anything, but also the first one was pretty popular, so
Yeah.
but I
Yeah,
do think those are worth the hype.
I need to get back into those, but I did enjoy the show, though. I feel like I don't remember it extremely well. I watched it, like, as soon as it came out, and I binged it, but I was also, like, crocheting at the same time.
Mhm.
So
Let me
I
crochet
was
while
like,
we're
"Oh, yeah,
discussing a
this is"
murder.
yeah.
I do think they did a good job, though, like, I actually
I
when
thought
I
they did
do,
too,
like,
from what I
relive
can
it
remember of the book.
Huh?
I said I thought they did too from what I could remember of the book, and then a lot of it was, like, refreshing my memory because
Yeah.
it's been a couple of years since I've read that.
But I also feel like it's so for her to freak me out again, and I'm like, "Why am I freaked out when I already read this?" But then I'm, like, remembering what happened, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm, like, legit actually freaked out again," and I feel like
Yeah.
that takes, like, a lot of talent. So, um but I do wanna get into some other thriller authors, like, I have Lucy Foley, I have Stephen King, I have, who's the other one? I wanna get into Alice Feeney.
Yeah.
Other female thrillers.
Yeah.
But I also heard, like, some of Lucy Foley's books are, like, really up and down.
Yeah. I read her what is it? The Paris Apartment? I think is what it's called. And it wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't, like, groundbreaking either.
Yeah. I have The Hunting Party, and I think I'm gonna like that one more, but
Yeah, I kind of heard that that one's better.
yeah, but I also heard that her new book what's so funny is that her new book came out on the same day as Riley Sager's new book, and they both had green font covers. I'm like, did they do that on purpose? And they weren't that good because I heard that book was terrible.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. I think I've
It's
seen the
called
cover of it.
The Midnight Feast.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
I'm
seen
like,
that cover.
that title already like does not intrigue me.
See, and the title intrigues me, but
Like,
I
what are
just
they
don't.
actually eating? Like, are they eating people or food?
Nothing wrong with a little cannibalism in a book.
Right? Like here and there.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it's just, what you're in the mood for. So it's probably what I'm going to end up doing like for the rest after this month because there's like so many books I'm so excited to get to this month. And then like
Yeah.
in December, probably just read like I'm hoping to get to like 2 series and then just like mood read and then read a couple of Christmas books like the week of Christmas, and that's about it.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll get to any holiday books really, but I think I have some, like, video vlog concept, like, theme ideas, so I will
Mhm.
probably read for them, and then I still have my TBR jar, so I will probably try to get some of those done, maybe some of my 24 and 24, and hopefully, like, some of them will, like, line up and be the same,
Yeah,
like, they'll be from my TBR jar and from that, so
that's when you feel really accomplished.
yeah.
It's like, "Oh my god, I tackled that and a prompt, like, who am I?"
Oh my god, this fly is
Oh my
still
god, what the hell? I can't believe like, remember
following
I
me
was like, "Oh, I'll only be on an hour," and then it's it's almost 2:30.
2
It's
hours. Yeah.
alright, we got our sprints done, so
Yeah.
at least we could feel good about that.
I think I'm going to continue after sprints, and try to finish this because I don't have too much.
Yeah, you're definitely closer to the end. I'm gonna try and finish it tonight and probably will. Um, but then I'm like torn as to which 4 books I'm gonna choose between to read next.
Yeah. I'm reading, well, I'm rereading, but they read it for the first time, a buddy read with my friends. It's The Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. It's
I've
like
heard of that.
my favorite Paul Tremblay book, but it's been a bit since I've read it, so they're coming over tonight, and I'm like I thought, like, we were going to finish the book in November and talk about
Yeah.
it, but they both, like, read it super fast, so I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, you're still reading it?
Well, I haven't even restarted
Oh,
it. I've already read it before, so I was like,
right,
"Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's not like I'm gonna be spoiled or anything," but I was hoping, like, when we discuss it, I can have, like, a fresher mind, on it since it's been.
Just watch a quick recap.
Yeah. Yeah, I could
You
look up
don't
some,
have to reread it.
but no, that's one of my favorites of his, so I've been wanting to reread it, but
Mhm.
I might fit a little bit of it in this afternoon if I can, but with voting and going and picking up the kids and all of that, my afternoon's gonna be busy.
Yeah, we already voted last Monday. We were not gonna wait until today.
Smart.
Yeah. My boyfriend voted today, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's easier for you." Like, he changed over to Democrat, like, 8 years ago. Can't believe it's been 8 years already. Like, he was a Republican, he was never a Trumpster, but, like,
Yeah.
um, also, he's like, "It's so much easier for me to vote in Farmington." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's a Republican county." It's a Republican town, I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so much harder for more liberal, um, counties to vote.
Yeah.
But what's also crazy is that I just saw that New York is actually open the earliest and closes the latest because of New York City, which is insane. Like
Yeah.
I can't believe how much that counts for the whole country.
Mhm.
But we also count our votes a lot faster than, the fucking swing states, so
Yeah. Yeah, the hard part for us was we were moving during, like,
yeah.
r voter registration deadlines, so, like, we
Oh,
couldn't change any of our stuff, and I was like, "We're gonna have to figure this out." I'm like so everything I was looking up said that we could still go to the courthouse, but I was like, "I'm gonna have to go to the courthouse
you
to be able
couldn't
to
just mail it in?
No, because, like, the time that we were moving, it was past the deadline.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
like, couldn't like change anything. But thankfully, we've called them and we have to vote at a new place now than where we used to, even though we've only like moved like a few blocks over. And
Mhm.
uh, we're voting together. Usually I will just go while the kids are at school, but we're voting together today because they have to contact the courthouse to verify that our new address is correct in order for us to vote. But it's just
Changing
stupid. I'm like
addresses is such a
the
headache.
worst time to move.
Right.
And I already don't like going to vote. I know it's not a big deal and you can be prepared and go prepared, but I have such high anxiety
It's such a
that it
pain in
feels
the
like
ass. It
I'm
really is
going
a
to
pain in
like
the
the
ass.
DMV or something.
Yeah. I mean, like, already the DMV, like, it's the happiest place on earth, so obviously you really wanna go.
Oh man. I have to go there this month too, so I'm just
It sucks. I had to go when we bought my car back in July. My mom's like, "The international dealers are so annoying." 'Cause I have a Toyota, and my mom and my dad and my brother all have Fords, and she's like, "We never had to go to the DMV to transfer the plates. They did it all at the dealership." But also, like, my mom forgot to sign the check the first time we went to DMV, and I'm like, "Mom, how the did you forget?" I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I had to send it again." And I'm like, "Well, maybe that's why they told us that we need to come back
Yeah.
because you really want to go to the DMV twice, but we had to." So, yeah.
Almost every time because I swear we will even call ahead and be like, "We're gonna ask, what all do we need to bring in for this?" And then they'll tell us, and we'll get there
It's
and they'll be like,
always you're
"Oh,
never
you also
prepared.
need
Never.
this." Yeah, but they're like, "You also need" to like, "We called ahead of time, so we didn't have to do
They don't
this."
care. They literally don't care any
No,
of
and
your
then they act like
reasoning.
you're just wasting their time. We're
It
like,
literally does not
"We
matter.
tried."
I'm like, "You chose to work here every day, so,
Oh
you're supposed to help me."
my gosh. They all just act like they hate it so much. I'm like, "Why are you working here?"
Like, "I'm sorry you hate your job, but you're here for a reason. You still get benefits, so."
Then again, having to work with the public can be
I
scary.
know. Some people are fucking nuts, like, especially in this day and age.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Like, people think everything is their fault, like,
yeah.
the other person's fault, not their
Mhm.
fault. Like, I didn't do anything wrong, obviously. So ridiculous.
Oh, man.
Alright, well, I need to get out of the house finally because 'cause I'm, like,
I gotta get
delaying
some stuff done.
shit because I'm actually going away this weekend, so I'm like, I need to get stuff too before Friday because I'm like, I don't know why I waited so long and just I don't even wanna go out today because I feel like everywhere is gonna be chaos, but
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it will be. Oh, man.
I'm just everybody's, like, in a kind of what is it called? Denial today.
Yeah, yeah.
Cross our
Well,
fingers.
yeah.
I think we have a lot better chance this time though, but we beat them in 2020. Oh, before I go, there's like this amazing theory. So my friend told me this, and she's like super nervous too about today. And she's like, "Did you know in 2020 the Dodgers won the World Series and Trump lost? And then the Dodgers just won this in 2024?" And I'm like, that is so bizarre that they won, like, just within the past 5 years, be honest, because like, that's so rare now, but
Yeah,
also, like, the fact that they won during an election year both times, I'm like, "That is really weird."
yeah, if you're superstitious, there you go.
Like, I told because my boyfriend's a huge Yankees fan, I love the Yankees too, and we were both watching, like, the last inning, and we're like, "The fuck are they doing?" And then, like, they ended up losing, but then I told him that, he's like, "I'm okay with them losing if that's actually gonna be true." And then my sister's husband's, like, a hardcore Dodgers fan because they live in California, and I told her, a couple days ago when we were talking on FaceTime, and she just opens the door, tells him what I just said, and I can't see him, but he's off screen, and I'm like, "I bet his jaw is on the floor." She's like, "Yep." He's like, "That's amazing." So we're just hoping that's why they lost.
Yeah.
I was like, "That'd be amazing." So All right. Well, that was really fun. I
Yeah.
really want to do it again at some point.
Yeah. Thanks for joining and reading, even if it was just us.
It's okay. It only matters if we get reading done, okay?
Yeah. Hold each other accountable.
Yeah, exactly. Like, did you read today? Did you finish your book? But it's like literally those are the only thoughts going on in your head.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I put so much pressure on myself? I'm the only one who actually cares. Did I finish my TBR? No. Does it matter? No. All right. That was fun. So, hope you guys, whoever joined in, I hope you
Yeah.
had a good time.
Whoever yeah, watches it maybe back. Hopefully the sprints help you. I
Sure.
always go back and watch playbacks just
Right.
to have the timer and yeah.
Yeah.
Motivation.
People can just rewatch. Okay. Well, have a good day.
You
Try
too.
and have a good day.
Yeah. Try not to be on edge.
Let's be us the whole day.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm gonna. Well, I might watch it later if I go to that watch party, but usually we don't even watch it until like tomorrow anyway, when we finally get like some results.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.